Welcome along, everyone, to the Italian Grand Prix, round 14 of the 20-round season. And it is the going to be the fastest Grand Prix this season, I think, unless, of course, we have a sprinkling of rain or anything like that, or safety cars and all that kind of jazz then. But it is the Italian Grand Prix, then, of course, the Temple of Speed, then the home of the Scuderia Ferrari team, then. And, of course, on paper, this probably looks quite an easy circuit, doesn't it? Straight chicane, straight chicane, straight chicane, and then a big old turn in the final corner. Then the parabolica or the Michele Alboreto turn, depending on your era of Grand Prix racing. Then, but tonight though it is the Italian Grand Prix. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors a bit quick, shall we? Because the drivers are very much on point tonight. We've got a lot of drivers missing, them, which means that in theory that well, no, it's not in theory, which means that there's going to be a couple of constructors not scoring tonight, which is going to be music to the ears of some other constructors. Drivers, Immortal leads the championship by 54 points from Sam Swift and Ninja in second position. Brabbitt in third, then MHD has sadly had to have an emergency and will not be racing tonight then, which is going to be a blow for himself and Alpine. Flippy in superb fifth position with Percy now homing in on that top four on 88 points, 73 points for Van Von, then 51 for Menace. P's on 45, a great start to the season, but it's been a horror show in the second half. Lights on 31, along with Boxtown. Troy on 24, he's been MIA for the past 3 weeks. Nameless on 15, 12 for Cam. 12 for Equal, 7 for Cam, 5 for Legends, 4 for Nosey, 3 for Kaz, Chaz, 1 for and one for Morris and Delando, yet to get off the board, sadly, in the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors' Championship, it looks like this, and the Racing Bulls, then, of course, they got two drivers with multiple Grand Prix wins between them now, and they are starting to stretch early in the Constructors, especially after that they are the only second constructor of the season to get a 1-2 in the whole of ALR. Of course, McLaren got a 1-2 earlier on the season. They got 2 in silver, actually. Red Bull, Racing Bulls then lead 78 points out in front of the Kick Sauber team in second, and then Alpine, who was in a very strong second a few about several races ago, sadly down in third now in a free fall, and Haas has a chance of overtaking them. McLaren on 127 points, had a big old gap of 42 points separates the top 5 and the rest. Then Red Bull on 85, 59 for Mercedes. We've got a driver out on circuit of Immortal, 8 for Ferrari on 51. Then of course hoping for some big moves tonight for Ferrari. Yellow flag out there, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Williams on 28 points and Aston Martin on 22 points then. Good stuff indeed then. Right then, hello everyone. Welcome to the Italian Grand Prix. Let me get rid of me overlays and let's get on with the show, shall we? Good stuff indeed, that is. I hope that this is going to be a quick race tonight, because I gotta say, let's just say I've got the runs really badly, which is not a very good, analogy. I went to a pub restaurant last night to celebrate my friend Raquel's birthday, and I gotta say though, I had a very super burger. I think it was called the Dirty Clucker or something like that. My goodness gracious me! And let's just say it's been a nightmare in the old facilities of the Meek household today, just to say that. So hopefully this is going to be a quick one. Oh, Cam there getting a bit squirrely. He might have to also go to facilities as well after that skirmish through Lesmo 1 here tonight then. So yeah, this is the fastest circuit on the calendar then. Of course this is round 14, and as we're very much in the crunch time now of the World Drivers' Championship and the Constructors as well, as we've got car 11 there with Cam. Then of course Cam going to be hopefully making the most of that, because of course not next year, in season 15 of ALR he won't be able to use that again because of a one Sergio Perez coming back into the fold. And I'm wondering about Slipstream as well tonight. We've got a lot of reserve drivers in here tonight, 19 drivers in here to be precise, but we got no Williams team in. We got no Williams team in terms of full-time drivers. We have got no Alpines in either, as Aston Martin goes a 1-2 then, as Nameless and Cam have gone fast, and with Camera Racer then super subbing in tonight then for the Williams machine. Then of course that Knowlesy is on holiday, shocking stuff indeed then. Let's go, Coop. Whoops, I almost banned Knowlesy. Let's go, Percy says well then. Equal said with a lovely ALR heart shape there. Great stuff indeed. Here's the World Championship leader of Immortal, just coming out of the Delia Roger Chicane. Evening all from Rocket League. Good evening to you, Rocket League. Good luck, Golden, says Knowlesy then. Enjoy your holiday, Knowlesy. Big thanks, Percy, for hosting and Bar for sorting out the grid then, whilst Knowlesy is swatting off on his holidays. How dare he? That's his second race he's missed in gold as well then. Who's counting? Oh yeah. Having said that, I've missed 2 races as well, haven't I, really, to be honest? Sir Vasta, currently 5th fast at the moment, and Delando in 6th in the Ferrari, and he'll be carrying the hopes of the Scoot area here tonight then, along with Max, who's also back in the hot seat as well, which is good to see. Equals goes up 3rd fastest there as well. Not the only one, Sean, then. Was it Kitchen Nightmares, says Real Ashton. It was worse than Kitchen Nightmares. Flippy's gone fastest as well. But then Immortal has gone faster by a 1/10 of a second then here tonight in Monza. Yes, so I'm hoping this is going to be a quick race. And as you can see, then using the tour, is that the touring car race potentially? As we've got the 2 Haas cars. He did a really good job. Was it in Zandvoort where they gave each other a tow? Marky's gone 10 faster in the Red Bull. So just to remind you, because we've got a lot of reserves injured tonight. Oh, I'm not sure if that tow is going to happen through the Parabolica. But let's see how it goes, shall we? As coming out to the line now, Morris goes across the line. That's a very good 4th position there for Morris. He's having a horror show of a season in the Haas car. Brabant goes at 9th fastest there, but I think he was giving his teammate a tow. Good 17th then. I'm wondering if that's what a lot of teammates might do here tonight then. Lights and doing as usual, disappearing that then, where he races for umpteen races and just doesn't race for the remainder of the season. Sweet then in at 7th position, the 2nd Williams as well. So Vestia then standing in for Lights. We got Sweet standing in for Troy, and we've got the other Williams of Camera Racer standing in for Knowlesy. Then we've got standing in for the Alpine, standing in for Pease in the Alpine, Savasta as well, and a lot of reserves out here tonight. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues or anything like that. And thank you very much as well, as we're up to 703 subscribers. We're only 300 away, well, 297 away from the magical 1,000. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could? I'm going to be honest, I feel that we're probably a couple of seasons away from getting that. Is it 1K? I'm going to just say 1,000. But it'd be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool to say that. Pretty cool indeed, wouldn't it? So no knockout session, of course, and in ALR these days. Oh, look at that. That's a new Haas car, isn't it? That is a splendid, lovely livery there from the Haas of Brabant. And has Jamie got the same one, has he? I don't think he has. But Brabant has a lovely Haas car out there. Goodness me, I do love the alternative liveries. Because of me personally, he's just popped himself in the 3rd position at the moment now. Sam Swift Ninja, the triple world champion there in the kick Sauber. 6 races to go in this championship for Sam Swift Ninja. 25-8 in the first sector as you go into the Delia Roger chicane. And of course, there is a lot of chicanes around here. There's also some legendary chicanes as well. Of course, the Ascari chicane, and they're just on board in through the first of the 2 Lesbos. The second Lesbo much tighter than the first one, runs wide there, but that is inch perfect from the triple world champion. Lovely stuff then. Drop down into the old banking then before he rides up into the Ascari chicane, and hold on to your pads. Oh no, the champion has had an issue there. And unfortunately, for Sunset Ninja, he's going to have to go around again. And I wonder if that's a lot of frustration for the world champion. 10 minutes to go. Not mission critical yet there for Sunset Ninja, but not ideal to say the least. There is it. As Mershon got lost, normally he's here quite early. To be fair, normally we don't really start the stream until about 7-8 minutes ago. Mershon doesn't usually pop in until about 20 past because we know he's getting a bit on these days, isn't he, with the old age and stuff. So Mushroom is probably not the quickest Mushroom anymore. In terms of not on track, he is quite a quick customer. However, in terms of getting his YouTube up on the new modern day technology, for a man who was who lived through the Battle of Hastings, I think the technology can be a bit of a conundrum there. By the way, let me know if this stream's okay, because I noticed that Streamlabs had an update earlier, and ironically, because of that update, it's sadly removed all of my settings out annoyingly, so I've had to quickly get the settings all sorted and everything like that. Here's Chazza then in the McLaren. A bit unstable out of the first chicane now for Chazza, but all fine and dandy. Currently as it stands, I'm also on pole position now. Alongside him is Flippy. It's a long run down into turn 1 then, and of course, remember, it's a lovely preview actually. This is round 14 of the championship. Round 15 next week is in Singapore, so we go from the shortest race on the calendar to the longest race on the calendar as well. I think it is Singapore, so we don't have Azerbaijan on the calendar this year, which I think is devastating. Having said that, of course, if you didn't watch today's Grand Prix, it wasn't the most exciting in the world, was it? But my goodness me, it's very dramatic in terms of the championship, wasn't it? I think that is the first I read on social media posts of that. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. As a purple in the second centre, Chance. Great stuff indeed from McLaren driver, a two-time pole sitter in his career, is Chance. But that's the first time that Piastri has made a mistake since Canada 2023. It was a bit of a horror show for Piastri, wasn't it? Crashing in qualifying and in the race as well. But remember though, back in Schumacher's day, Schumacher used to have one mistake a season or one horror show weekend per season, like in the 2001 San Marino Grand Prix, where the Ferraris were just very off that weekend, weren't they? As Schumacher had a lot of issues, didn't he, and then retired from the race. And then, of course, he went on to become a four-time world champion, of course, clinched it in Hungary. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Piastri then, but, of course, even the greats have issues throughout the season. Savasta has currently gone 9th fastest. Menace is up into 8th for the Ferrari, flying the flag beautifully for the Scuderia. Sweet into a superb start. Remember, Sweet was in the Gold Championship a few seasons ago, so Sweet is not straight into this competition there. And once again, the two Haas cars are lying on stern, and we're just going to watch Morris. No, we're not going to watch Morris. I apologise. We're going to watch Flippy first, as Boxtel goes up to a superb second now. It's 400ths of a second away, and that's too much curve there, and that's unfortunate. So we are also Morris is on an issue as well. Brabham down in 18th position at the moment now is Brabham. Now I think the Brabham does have a lovely new Haas car, doesn't he? That car looks slightly different to me. Was a Gordon Ramsay's burger from Burger King, says Real Action. By the way, I used to love Gordon Ramsay's nightmares. Of course, back when I was... he's got a slipstream there, hasn't he? Is that from Flippy? From Flippy? That might have been. That's a great slipstream indeed. The other McLaren now is just coming down the back straight as well. No, I must say, I had an absolutely... the burger was lovely. I felt I had to go as well because, of course, it was a pig. It was called a pig and apple, which is on like a farm kind of thing, which is quite cool. Of course, a pig, which is of course one of my relatives. It's my sister's basically. So of course I had to go and keep up the family tradition, and I wasn't sure about the apple part, but luckily there was no apples in sight, so I was all fine and dandy. But I must say, the burger I had there, the Dirty Clucker, which I think was a chicken burger, but with like hash brown, bit of bacon, goodness me. But unfortunately, I think I do have a dodgy stomach after eating anything greasy. I feel I got that illness. What is it? The squits? I don't know what it is. Yeah. Something to do with your bowels. Cara Racer coming through, Kerber Grande. Anyway, enough about me potty talk. Let's get on with the racing, shall we? We got yellow flags down in the first chicane. One of the Ferraris is on an issue. Cameron 13th position there. To be honest, we got a lot of reserves in here tonight, but even so, these drivers have raced, all the reserves tonight have raced in gold sometime along their careers. So it's not new territory at all. With Camera Racer, of course, has raced in gold a handful of times. So all fine on that front then. As we now 2/10 of a second up, with a quarter of a second up, which will get him in between Equals and Savasta if he doesn't make a mistake from the Williams stand in here tonight. Of course, Williams also getting their first podium in a full race since, ironic, which is very odd, since Lance Stroll back in 2018. I can't believe it was that long. And ironically, in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix of 2018 then. So well done to Carlos Sainz, good stuff today. And Camera Racer goes 12th fast moment. Let's just take a look at the world champion. There he is then. So we got Immortal's gone pole position once again for Immortal. I didn't even know he was out there, but the championship leader is on top form. And my goodness me, lowers the bar once again. And we got some... oh my goodness me, that was close. And Sam Shift Ninja was almost having issues there with his teammate and one of the Ferraris. And my goodness me, that would have lost him a bit of time. But it goes across the line and Sam Shift Ninja goes 5th fastest in the kicked Sauber. But my golly gosh, that was certainly a wake-up call there. My goodness me. Goodness gracious me. Evening, good guys, says Serious Mushroom. He's here. Absolutely. And ironically, when Mushroom comes in, you notice that the views go up. Because Mushroom's probably logged into like 20 other devices there. Of course, as he is our super fan, isn't he? So it's almost as good as me, says Serious Mushroom. only in bronze, because Russia was still letting the Red Bull team down. As Red Bull are last in the event league, sadly. But we're only 10 points now, or is it? No, I can't remember. We're not too far away from the Racing Bull team now, but it just shows that the Red Bull cars are not good on this game. It is not the drivers. It can't be the drivers. So it's something going wrong with the Red Bull team then. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, enough about the event league. That is on a Wednesday. Of course, the Singapore race last week was pretty good, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that race, actually. Coop, hello, Mushy, says Coop, as in soup then. As currently 3 minutes ago in this qualifying session, of course, we're just watching Boxtown. This is great that we haven't seen Boxtown this high up in a very long time. So it's a really good stuff indeed there. Right, I'm not going to close the stream. I am going to move off the stream now, and let's just take a look at the qualifying form book, of course. Currently, Immortal has been on pole position more often than not this season with 6 pole positions. If he gets pole position, not today, if he gets pole position in Azerbaijan, we do have Azerbaijan on the calendar. I apologise profusely. I'm telling you all porkies. It is Singaporean got on the calendar. If we, I think what am I saying? I don't know. If Immortal gets pole position in today and in Azerbaijan, then I don't think he'll be caught with the most pole position, which would be the 2nd or 3rd season in a row that Immortal has done that, which is fantastic stuff indeed then for Immortal. Of course, he's already got the most pole positions in ALR Grand Prix history of gold, I should say, with 28, 29. Oh, goodness gracious me, that's an incredible number. It is indeed that. You're usually here before me. You missed it, Mushroom. Sean has got potty problems, as they say. I absolutely do. Oh, Madness has got problems with the track limits there, and so is Boxtown, and that's unfortunate. But what about teammate Delando? Delando currently out on circuit, but is currently is not on a push lap. He might be on a cool push cool, or maybe just a cool and then a push then potentially. Yes, indeed. Sadly, Anthony's had to give up his. Seriously, saying that he's seen Anthony's retired. Anthony's had to give up his seat. Then we've also got other movement as well in bronze. With right on board with Geordie. Let's have a look. Oh, he's in the pits. Menace is retired from the session then. So then it's going to be all or nothing now then. As out of the final turn, that comes to London to start us out. We're going to stick with Cam for the minute then in the Aston Martin then. This is it then. As everyone is on circuit apart from Boxtown and Menace then. This is going to get very interesting indeed in terms of the traffic. As we just watch Cam then coming through Kerber Grande now, who's on really good run of form is Cam. Both him and the Aston Martin team are doing a good job. Look at Nameless up in 4th position. Fantastic. That's too much curb from Cam now out of the Delia Roger chicane into the first 2 Lesbos. And as you can see, he's corrected the car through the mid part of the corner. Second part now. Goodness gracious me. I almost fell off me poof. Incredible stuff there for Cam. Then going downhill then and underneath the bank before he rides back up into the Ascari chicane. Hold on to your hats. Wow, incredible. How much speed did he take through the Ascari chicane? It's absolutely sublime. I don't know why I'm leaning towards him. I'm leaning the way the Cam goes. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. It's now coming into the Michele Alboreto turn, and the legendary Ferrari driver, Sam Swift Ninja. Oh my goodness me, the championship contender is out of qualifying. And that's going to be it then. Across the line, and Cam goes 13th fastest in the Aston Martin. What about Delando? Delando currently, oh, and he's invalidated as well. Delando has that's unfortunately out of qualifying. I'm looking for Savasta, and here he comes. It's coming to the Alboreto or the Parabolica. I'm always going to call it the Parabolica. No disrespect to Michele Alboreto, of course, a legend in Grand Prix racing. Delondo's out of qualifying, unfortunately. Savasta stays 11th fastest. Checker flag is falling then. Red Bull in the background. Who is that Red Bull then? Equals goes 12th fastest then in that Red Bull. We've got a Williams in the background. A Sweet into a superb 7th position there for Sweet. That is a sweet lap indeed then for Sweet. Across the line then we got a handful of cars who might be tripping over each other here. Immortal pole position, Percy in 3rd position, and Jamie up into 7th, Bravitt in 9th there. Magnificent stuff. Oh, Flippy's off the circuit. Flippy is off the circuit, then out to the final turn, and I've missed Immortal's pole position lap for the 2nd time tonight. Nameless is on the front row of the grid. Magnificent stuff indeed. Legends comes across the line to go 16th fastest. Flippy's out, finishing qualifying. Immortal pole position number 7 of the season, pole position number 2 in a row in Netherlands and Italy today, and that is also Immortal's that's also Immortal's 29th pole position of his career in Grand Prix racing in gold. I think he's got more than 100%. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Immortal. Pole position number 7 of the season. Magnificent stuff indeed. Whew. Well, brace of balls. I've only got 7 pole positions according to my stat book there. Maybe I've missed a pole position out there. To be fair, I had an awful time with my spreadsheet on, I think it was Saturday or Friday, where all the changes reverted back because of bloody OneDrive. Right, anyway, rant over. Immortal pole position by over a tenth for a second. That's impressive. But Nameless, star of qualifying, or is it boxed out? I can't decide. Second and third. Percy in fourth with Flippy fifth. Sam Swift Ninjas not in the session in sixth. Morrison seventh. Sweet eighth. Rabbit ninth. Menace completes the top 10 here. Nameless, says Duke, and Scraps now left, Fed, says Equals. Coop, huge lap there from Nameless. Nice to see Nameless up there. Lap, that lap by Nameless? Who? Oh, dear. To be honest, I should really go through the joint constructors really. Oh, lovely sunshine out there. It's nice. Right, I've got to sort my headset out as well. It keeps flicking off my ear at the moment. Right, the joint constructors. Oh dear, I can't get my trackpad to work now. Blooming updates. Actually, that's my fault. I think I've let's just say I think I've spat on my laptop. That's not good. Well, in the joint constructors, as it stands at the moment, Racing Bulls are leading the joint constructors 4 points in front of the Alpine team. Williams are only 16 points adrift there, and then we've got McLaren who's only 36 points adrift there. This is the closest joint constructors championship on record so far. It's been fantastic. Aston Martin 88 points adrift, and that's only a 2-1-2s, mine, and the fastest lap as well. 2 fastest laps. Then Kick Sauber on at 4:42, 4:06 for Ferrari, 3:31 for Haas, 2:94 for Red Bull, and Mercedes on 176 then. Luckily, Sam Swift Ninja's back in the session. That's fantastic stuff indeed then. Am I second for everyone, says Nameless. Oh goodness gracious me, as Cam is not happy with a former teammate, actually, Sam Swift Ninja there, so there must have been an issue in qualifying, but Nameless is also asking if he's second for everyone. He's certainly second for me, so he must be second then. Very good stuff indeed. How many times has Sean bragged about beating me last week? To be fair, I haven't actually bragged about it just yet, but yes, you're right, Mushroom. I was absolutely fantastic at the 100% on Wednesday, or whatever it was. I must admit, I know this is the Gold Championship, but I do like these wild cards, which Coop and Percy have applied for the event league this season. Been very good. Then, of course, we had to use all 5 tires if you missed it on Wednesday. Really good stuff indeed. Then, and I must say, it just shows just shows that the top drivers do not only know how to drive fast, but they also know how to apply strategies. It's absolutely beyond me. It's fantastic stuff indeed. I must admit, I thought I was onto a winner, to be fair. Even when that safety car came out, and then I realised, actually, no, I'm not onto a winner. But it took me until after the safety car to realise that it wasn't going well. But I think it just shows how good people are then. I use 6, says Mushroom, which is probably why Mushroom finished behind me then. Which is probably why Mushroom finished behind me then, as he had an extra pit stop. As Real Ashton there is asking people, don't forget to check in as well. Good stuff indeed there from Real Ashton. I got my Discord notifications enabled for once tonight, which I think I might regret that. Let's go for the grid. Medium and hard tires, no soft tire inside there. Medium for Legends, medium for Equal, Savasta, Brabbit, Sweet, Morris, Flippy, Percy, Nameless, and Immortal then. And of course, then it's a big old run down into Tier 1 then. Sam's still not in the session, says Coop. Oh, no, he's not. I thought he would have been because he's on the hard tyres. A good spot from Coop. But I thought that he would be in his ghost at the moment. I just seen him pop back in, or I thought I'd seen him pop back in. But Sam Swift Ninja, the championship protagonist, will try to defend his crown now from Immortal, who's very much trying to steal it from him this season, which will be the first time since Season 9, which the last world champion, apart from Sam Swift Ninja, was ironically Immortal's teammate Lucas Percy. But Sam Swift Ninja needs to get into the session quickly. Let's go for the grid. I'm already 3/4 of the way through. I can't join my car. Please restart. I can't join my car. I can't join my car, says Sam Swift Ninja. Getting in for that cable, says Serious Mushroom. Oh, now this is going to be a conundrum. Then, of course, normally, what would we restart the session just because one driver can't join the car or can't go in his car, or would we restart the session then? I don't know. Luckily, I'm not admin, but we'll see what the stand-in steward's going to make of that. Immortal currently just lining up on the grid then. Well, you'll have to wait till the lights go out then. Sound says, then I think you can when it starts. I'm glad that we got people in the comments that knows what's going on, because I have no idea. Oh, Immortal's had a problem on the grid there. Look at that, he's starting so far back. Let's get rid of that tower. Look at that then. That's a couple of meters away from his box there for the pole sitter. As 11th finishes Savasta, 12th is Equals with Camera Racer row 7. Marky and Legends at 15th and 16th. Marky, a former Grand Prix driver, in gold. And then we got Chaza and Vessier, followed by Delando 19th on the grid then. It might crash him out, says Brooks, and then TP Links for the win. I'll use Netgear versions. Lights are on then, hopefully Soundswift Ninja can get back in then, but it looks like we're not restarting. Lights on, lights off, and here we go! And now it's going to be a long drag down into turn 1 then, and it's go for the Italian Grand Prix. We've already got position swapping as we go down into turn 1, and Immortals have the perfect start, but Nameless has been sandwiched there between Percy and Boxhouse off the circuit. He gets a 10-second penalty. That's harsh from the former runner-up of the World Championship. He lets Percy back through. Nameless had a shocking start, and now look at them all over the back of Nameless here. It's fourth Brabant. It's on 4 positions. Brabant's had a fantastic start. Nameless is going to have to get defensive here into the Danny Rogers again. Barrel on the outside, Barrel on the inside, and forces Nameless off. It's a horror. It's a terrible start for the Aston Martin. A magnificent start for Immortal, and now going down to the first two Lesbos here, and Flippy's having a 5th position, and Morris is trying to go on the inside as well, but he retains his 7th position here. Where's Sam Swift Ninja here, and he's down in 8th position, but I think he's in his car. T1 emotional damage there, but I think Sam Swift Ninja's in his car as we go up into the Ascara chicane, and Equus having a sniff on the world champion. And now we got Menace getting past Markey, as was that contact between the two cars out of the Ascara chicane. Chaza in 17th position, Camera Racers dropping down the order. Back in the front then, Immortal leads us a 1-2 for the Racing Bulls again. Boxhouse got a 10-second penalty harsh. I wonder if he might be able to overturn that. Sansurf Ninja, who's dropped down 2 positions because of technical dramas, and as he lost connection in the qualifying session, wasn't able to get a final lap in, and then he wasn't able to take the start, and as we come powering down into turn 1, DR is not going to be available just yet, and here comes Sweet, and he's having a look then. Sweet down for 2 positions as well. A lot of movement. Aston Martin up the inside. That's a Red Bull of Equals going wide as the Aston Martin can then get in very squarely. Of course, unhappy in qualifying as he feels he was impeded by the world champion Soundship Ninja. Back on board with Cam now as he's going this way and that way now as we come out of the Dahlia Rogers chicane, and the Ferrari of Menace there, who's trying to defend his position. Of course, Menace having a bit of a difficult season as well. There's a lot of drivers out there who are having difficult seasons. Other drivers that are having spectacular seasons as well. Of course, I think this game has really shook up the form book, hasn't it, in all championships. And out the second Lesmo, Immortal is still in DRS of Percy, and Percy will be looking for his first Grand Prix win. Is Percy going to try and help his teammate though with the championship then, because it's still nip and tuck, and the gap is quite the gap in the championship at the moment is 54 points then, and it's still very much mathematically on then, but it is looking very good though for Immortal to claim his first world championship. However, it's only round 14 out of 20. We've got 6 rounds to go, including this one, and we've got the likes of Azerbaijan, United States, followed by Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi to really finish off the season. There's a lot of variety in this calendar yet. That Soundswift Ninja is flying up against Morris. We're on board now, Soundswift Ninja, as it goes out the outside to Morris defends the position from Soundswift Ninja as coming on board now with the world champions again. Not the helmet design there with the Ollie Behrman helmet design, crash helmet there. Camera Racers got the first 10-second penalty of this evening's event set. Bugsau will have to serve that 10-second penalty. He can't get it removed, says Duke. Evening Rocket League. Oh, yellow flag. What's happened? It's Camera Racer off the circuit. And that's absolutely good stuff indeed. I'm glad someone's paying attention. The Duke is paying attention because, yes, we're only on lap 3. Everyone has to make a mandatory pit stop. So basically, yeah, I'm speaking absolute boulder dash out there, which is lovely. unusual, is it, really? Back in this midfield gaggle then, Soundswift Ninja's got a good run then, DRS as well. Look at this, Morris going to get the fence then. It's very difficult overtaking into the Ascara chicane, and I think it's probably much safer if there is a safe overtake then, which in Formula 1 I don't think there is. Whoa, getting very squirrely. That lovely shot there as they come towards me, and now towards the Parabolica chicane. Oh gosh, what's happened? The Legends off the circuit there. That's not ideal. Aquels has dropped down into 11th position because Manis, wow, I love that, up into 10th position now as the Ferrari driver, and the Italian fans and the Tifosi is going to go wild with delight then. Oh my goodness me, wheel to wheel as between Soundswift Ninjas. Jamie cuts across and the King Salmon to go into turn 1, and he's on the outside then. Morris has got the inside, but Soundswift's got the outside line. He has the inside, he's got track position, he has got track position as they almost bang wheels then coming out of turn 1, but Soundswift Ninja now up into 7th position. He's still got a long way to go there with Immortal still leading by 8/10 of a second. Now then, of course, he's not getting any DRS at the moment then, at this moment. Oh my goodness, and gracious me then, out of the Dudley Rogers chicane then for the 4th time in this Grand Prix. And you can see there's a big old DRS train all the way down to 14th position then. And then Delando is out of DRS range at the moment, but he's just got past that Vessier. Delando's got a 3-second penalty though for his troubles. Flippy trying to get out of the slipstream of the Haas car as Brabant's had a great start. He's up 5 positions then, the most position he's gained so far in this Grand Prix. Well, the opening stage then is Brabant. Fantastic start from the Haas car after a difficult qualifying as they come towards me once again. Percy then only 3/10 of a second away at the moment as we go down into the Parabolica. Look at this then, as having a sniff. Having a sniff bed with Flippy is then on a Brabant as coming out of the Parabolica once again. Look at Percy, the amount of time he lost 3/10 of a second to his teammate of Immortal then as we fly past me once again. I'm wondering if he's going to have a look. No, he's not then, as you can see. Oh, that's a big lock up there from as we got a Williams car of Sweet having a look at Jamie in the battle for 8th and 9th position there. That's a big lock up for Immortal there, so that might bring forward his pit stop. We're only expecting 1 stops around here as the camera racer's got a 10-second penalty, unfortunately. Oh, and that's goodness me, that as camera racers out of the Grand Prix and Sweet on the outside. Contact between the 2 cars onto the Dally Rogers chicane, and as Morris just about keeps the position. And Menace there is striking whilst the iron's hot. He's up into 9th now. Wow, incredible stuff. Menace also on the hard tires as well. Yes, so we're only expecting a 1 stopper around here, unless of course late safety cars and all that jazz and drama. But of course, it's so difficult. The amount of time that you lose in the pit stop is massive. So you only want to make 1 stop then. Goodness gracious me. On board once again with oh, who's that? Morris is off and he's in the wall. He's out of the race, and that is a safety car. And Morris, who is looking strong in the last 2 races, but unfortunately has come through with no points there. And Morris is the 2nd retirement, and Bogstow has got 2 10-second penalties. Bogstow is flying. Is there damage? There's damage to that Mercedes as well as they're all coming into the pits. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Percy is slowing right down. Menace is going to take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix in this one. My word, and this is going to be painful then, of course, for Boxstar. Morris is going to be quite disgruntled. Legend to stay out then. So safety car is safety car is at the end of turn 2. Mortal then is coming out now. Look at Percy. Percy's judged that to perfection. Percy out there because of course Percy then it was would have had to stack up, and he has done a really good job then. Hopefully he won't encourage the wrath of the stewards here, but in terms of maybe holding up too much, of course in real F1 you cannot hold up the car too much then, can you? The car behind, I can't remember the exact wording for it. Boxstar all the way down at 15, and he's got another 10-second penalty, and he hasn't changed that front nose cone. I wonder if he might come in the pits again, serve that second 10-second penalty, and from another serve hard. I don't think the meter's going to get to the end, you know, from here. Sam is driving angry, says Serious Mushroom there, as always, Real Ashton and Rocket League, of course. Still a bit of beef then after the contact a few weeks ago in bronze. Goodness gracious me, that. Oof, dear. To be honest, I have beef with Mushroom. Right then, it's for my bad setups. Percy is on a 2-stop. Jamie has been so unlucky, says Coop said. He has, hasn't he? In the last 2 races, Morris probably deserves a good handful of points at the very least. Maybe lower end of the top 10, certainly. But in his last 2 qualifying appearances, he's been pretty formidable, Morris has. And it was back to the Morris that we knew from last season. But 1 point from the opening 14 races of his campaign this season is not. It's like Mika Häkkinen's campaign in 2001 in the McLaren. A lot of reliability issues, also a lot of bad luck as well. We've just seen that Percy's on 2 stoppers, says the Duke then. Hard runners winning, says Serious Mushroom. So just watching Legends Ed, who has not pitted, and nor has Menace either. Everyone else has pitted, and then. So this is going to get very interesting. Into the pits now comes Markey, and into the pits comes Box Tal as well. Another man who's unlucky, I think it's Box Tal. I don't think that the corner cut in turn 1, I don't think it was a 10-second penalty, and he gave the position back anyway. So that is harsh penalty there from the stewards, and his Markey's out on the medium tyres. And then the second 10-second penalty, I cannot judge because we didn't see it. But normally when you go to the back of someone, I don't think it's usually worth a 10-second penalty. Probably not with a penalty at all, personally. But Boxer coming out of the pits now on a new set of medium tyres, and with 20 laps to go in this Grand Prix. You need talent to use my setup, Sean. Oh, burn. Out of the pits now comes Boxer, almost squirreling on the exit of the pit like that. We'll resume this conversation on Wednesday, Mushroom. Don't worry, I've got memory like a goldfish. I never forget. So Menace has got track position there, but he might be swarmed going into the first couple of laps when the safety car comes in. Safety car probably is going to stay out for the next lap at the very least then, with Boxtal and Markey just catching up. So Boxtal's going to have to he's got the pace here tonight, but the problem is, just like we may see from Lando Norris earlier on today, that you may have the pace then, but of course catching is one thing, passing it is quite another, as the legendary Murray Walker used to say. Yes, indeed. Then, so maybe it's not as hard as it is in real life on this game, but still, it's going to be difficult, isn't it, to say at least. So safety, so the yellow flags are out. Apologies, I had to wet me whistle. I'm a little low on the old fluid, you see, as I've had a couple of belly troubles today. Oh. To be honest, actually, that reminds me, I think I was very ill on one stream. I think it was Silver, season 4 or something like that. Well, let's just say it didn't go very well at all. But I carried on commentating, and of course, it's like nothing ever happened. Actually, something did happen, and it was a bit of a bother. But it's my fault, because I think I ate quite a big bag of nuts. Oh no! And Sam Swift Ninja has left the session again. These lobbies are terrible, man. I gotta say, because we had a lot of leaving, and we had a lot of incoming and going in the event league, and we've always had issues in Silver as well, where a lot of drivers come and go, and now we got Sam Swift Ninja coming in and out as well, and these lobbies need to be sorted out, man. It's a 2025, for goodness sake. And Sam Swift Ninja at the restart as well. It's not gonna. He might be able to take control of his car if he gets back in now. But Sam Swift Ninja on the medium tires is hoping to make his way through the field. He's down a couple of positions because of the technical problems at the start of this Grand Prix. Safety car is in this lap, but Sam Swift Ninja is not in his car. He has left the session. And again there's issues there for Sam Swift Ninja. My goodness me, when it doesn't rain, it pours out. I'm sweating profusely here, thank goodness me. And good job I've got a black top on, otherwise it'd be the wet t-shirt competition. Sweet's overtaken, Sam Swift Ninja. That is not permitted under the safety car. Hopefully he can get back in, because this is starting to, of course, we want to see the championship go down to the wire in Abu Dhabi, but at the moment, Mortal's in such a good battle that at the moment, Sam Swift Ninja is going to have to really find some form there. Out to the parabolica to start the to restart the Italian Grand Prix. We're racing again here in Italy then. So Menace leads, second is the Legends, third position is Immortal. Then we have got Percy, Samsung Ninja dropped down the order. He's not back in the session yet, as hopefully someone could invite him back in. Percy's past Immortal. I think that might have been team play from the Red Bull team. Someone needs to hopefully Farf is going to invite or Percy. Oh no, because Percy's racing. Hopefully Samsung Ninja can get back in pronto here. Is he's just dropping down the order? Samsung Ninja's. Oh no! This is not ideal at all, is it? Samsung Ninja's out of the points here. Oh goodness gracious me. Legends has lost out because Percy's gone on the outside. He takes the position. He takes third position here. And now that he goes defensive on Immortal here. As Immortal then, and this potentially could be good play here from the Kick Sauber to try and hold up Immortal in terms of the championship challenger from Samsung Ninja. Samsung Ninja though is not even in the event at the moment. As now Immortal is going side by side with Legends. Well, that didn't stay too long, did it, with Legends on the old medium compound tyres. Flippy's having a look then. I thought he was alongside Brabham. He's not. He's a couple of tenths further back and both. Menace there did escape them, but look at that then. There's the two racing balls there, very much illuminating the rear mirrors there of the Ferrari of Menace as we go into the Parabolica once again. Legends is now then the mobile chicane of Brabham and Flippy to negotiate. And here they come then out to the final Parabolica turn once again. And now that it's at the Percy at the pass up the race, and here comes and there he goes. Percy takes the lead. Cam has gone fast as that. We're just watching this battle here. We could have three abreast into turn one. Brabham, oh my gosh, this Legends almost up the second. Sweet diving up the inside of the Kick Sauber, not quite as Nameless, and of course start on the front row, just down in sixth position now. Oh my goodness me, rubbing his race as they say in BTCC. My word. And we're certainly getting some rubbing here tonight. Samsung's back in the session. And my goodness gracious me, both Mercedes are down in 50th and 60th position there. Sweet, who's now on the inside of Legends, going into the Dahlia Roger chicane. And Samsung back in. Hopefully he can get control of his car. And hopefully he can get himself back into this, because this is a nightmare for Samsung Ninja. And of course, as the weekend is starting to become more and more critical for Samsung Ninja, and in terms of trying to reclaim or defend his title, it's not going well at all. And he's almost 3 seconds back, and he's even got to make another pit stop, I feel. Equals power has passed Legends at 11-8 position. Strong performance so far from Legends, and sorry, not from Legends, from Equals. Legends is doing a good job as well, but unfortunately he has not pitted whilst the rest of the grid has. On board with Cam there once again. Cam, just like Morris in the last couple of races there, has really found a bit of form in that Aston Martin. But sadly though for Morris, he just hasn't been able to get the results whilst his age is in the pits. Whilst Cam has been getting the results at good stuff indeed. Locking up there. Oh, contact, and they're all hit the back of each other there. I think Immortal hit the Ferrari, and then Brabham and Flippy hit the back of each other as well. My goodness gracious me. I was just checking to see who won this event last year. Of course, it was Van Velde who won this event last year, but no Red Bull, no full-time Red Bull drivers are taking part tonight, which means there are no constructors points available. Samsung Ninja, of course, won the last two races in season 11 and 10, and then Boxer won it in season 9. But sadly, though, I think that all those drivers, as yellow flag is out there for, I think that actually that yellow flag might have been stuck up there for a long time and I just haven't noticed. But just say, look, Samsung Ninja is now 4 seconds back. Has he got control of his car? He has, but I'm wondering if he's come back in with a couple of issues after the ALR has controlled his car, and Cam has got a 3-second penalty. That could be costly then in the outcome of his race and his quest for points. And as we go down, as Vesters has got penalties as well. 17 cars remain out of the 19 that started. Flippy is now going to be a cause for concern there for the Haas driver of Brabham, and having a great season is Brabham. Percy, I've got to say, Menace is doing a good job there, and I think that Menace is now going to go back into the lead. Then the Ferrari fans are going to go wild here as Menace on the outside. Percy defends, and they're going wide then. Oh yes, incredible stuff there. But Percy's back on the inside to go into the Curva Grande here, and wow, it's Percy repels the attack from the Ferrari, and Percy, of course, Racing Bulls there. Are the Italians still? I do not know, but of course they are the. They did come from the legendary Minardi team, which of course used to be based in Faenza, didn't they? Back in 1985, right up until 2005, before Red Bull purchased them, and of course they've been the Toro Rosso, the AlphaTauri, and now the Racing Bulls. Oh, the RB and now the Racing Bulls. So they may have a bit of Italian DNA in there as well, but I think the Ferraris, the Ferrari, of course, the Italian Tifosi are always going to be behind the Scarlet Ferraris. They're going to be cheering on Menace. And the second Ferrari, Delando, having a great race so far in 11th position. Delando hoping to get on the points here tonight then. But as a box style, as Chaz has dropped down past. Oh, and Chaz is off the circuit, unfortunately. Down in 16th position, unfortunately, for Chazza. On the outside, coming on the outside of the Parabolica once again, coming to the finish line there. Sweet is now all over the back of Nameless. Sweet is driving superbly well, isn't he? My goodness gracious me, he's got good form in silver, and he's carrying that form incredibly well there. As now Menace takes the lead there. Look at this, it's getting very condensed, and Menace goes into the side, not Menace, sorry, and Nameless goes into the side of Flippy. Contact was a damage to the McLaren car, was a damage to Flippy's car as well. Sweet there is somehow stayed, somehow still in 7th position there. Quaz now joined the Frat car as well in this battle. Lovely over the shoulder shot here from the Williams machine, and as we go into the Dalla Roger chicane once again, Menace is all over the gearbox of the Ferrari. And Percy needs to overtake and needs to get away from oh my goodness me, it's Cam there, get very close to the back of the Red Bull as well, out of the first two Lesbos here. Percy, I think, needs to catch, pass, and then pull away from the Ferrari, but that's not happening at the moment. And now Molto is back on his teammates case here. Look at them, look at all these drivers, they're going to the inside to break the slipstream. Menace has got a 3-second penalty, that's going to be costly for the Ferrari driver. He does need the pit there. There's a couple of drivers behind him that does need the pit. Boxhouse also got a penalty as well, as Flippy there is very much I think Varrick's trying to break the slipstream from Flippy, as Flippy is staying on the outside, staying on the race line as we go into the Parabolica once again, out of the Parabolica, and look at this, and here comes Menace, followed by Percy, followed by Immortal. It is a big old slipstream fest all the way down to 30th position, which is Boxhouse, who's just had a penalty infringement there. Unfortunately, Boxhouse got a 10-second penalty, and Boxtel is out of the Grand Prix. That is heartbreak for... Oh, and that's an Aston Martin who's gone off the circuit. Nameless there. Oh, no, he's gone through the polystyrene there, and he's got a 3-second penalty for cutting the corner, albeit he lost more in the game there. So again, that's a harsh penalty for Nameless. And now he's behind his teammate here. So and now the Aston Martin team are... Aston Martin team now are going to go into a civil war here, aren't they? As Cam has made his way up through the field. Sadly, Nameless is dropping down the field at the moment there, unfortunately for Nameless there, but still a great front row start for Nameless. So unfortunately, it's not yielding the results that the Aston Martin driver would like so far. And unfortunately that. As coming down into, and Boxhouse out of the race, so we're down to 16 rounds from riding. Soundswift Ninja is still in 14th for this day. He's back in the lobby then, but he's left the lobby twice now tonight then, which has really affected his race performance in qualifying, and now the race itself. There he is in the background. Soundswift Ninja is not out of this when is he? Of course, he's a 3-time world champion for the reason. He never gives up when it's all going against him. Percy's into the pits then. Percy's into the pits, and I think that strategy call for Percy might be having second thoughts about that one, unfortunately. Menace stays out, so Immortal's now second position. Brabbit in front. That's a big lockup from the Ferrari of Menace, so that's not going to help his tyres go any longer than what they probably want to or need to here. Delando's now in the points, good stuff indeed. Percy coming out of the pits now. Is he going to get out in front as Chazza, who's just in front of him? Is he going to get out in front of the Kick Sauber of Legends? He should get out in front of the Kick Sauber of Legends there as we come down into turn number 1 as well. And so Menace, who is coming into the first two lessons, look at that, he's almost out of DRS range of Immortal then, but Brabbit is very much on the facility of Immortal, currently in second position, and further on then, this will be the battle for the lead then, once Menace comes into the pits, because Menace is not pitted. He's the only driver out there that is not pitted. Is not pitted then at this moment of this Grand Prix. Over half distance now in this one. So we've got a lot of penalties out there as well. And of course, penalties will be a deciding factor in this one. And as we come down to the Parabolica once again, and Soundswift Ninja's now on the back of Bestia. Here is Soundswift Ninja trying to recover, which has been quite a testing Grand Prix to say the least. And we've got boxed out. We got Morris's comments on this race and potential the last couple of races, and I'll read it out in just a jiffy because it's a bit of it's a paragraph there, and I've got to have full concentration. Here comes Sunship Ninja up into 12th position, passes Vessia. Vessia's not really making too much about that, as Cam has lost the position there to Nameless, whether that is a swap for position or if it was whether that is a swap for position in terms of team orders, or if that was engineered there by the Aston Martin team. Then it remains to be seen. Then we may not get the inside scoop of that one. Here's Sweet then. What a drive so far from Sweet then. It's an impressive performance from the Silver driver, who is potentially an outside bet then for the World Drivers' Championship in Silver. For the World Drivers' Championship in Silver, Sweet is. And so Sweet then really carrying that form over very nicely indeed. Then 16 out of 27. This is a fast race, this one is there. And goodness me, and thank God for that then, because yes, might be spending a lot of tonight in the lavatory. On board with Flippy once again. And as we look at the penalties just coming in now, and this might help Sunship Ninja elevate himself up the order. I'm not going to it's getting to the point where it's stressing me out and upsetting me every week. I can't do this anymore. I really want to quit. I'm so washed. I'm done with this game then. Mediums are going to be dodgy at the end, says Serious Mushroom then. Of course, I think that as Menace is now into the pits there, and he's going to have those medium tyres there. Now he's going to have the... whoa, my goodness me, that wheel to wheel going down into the first chicane. Flippy and Sweet fighting, and Sweet is through. Can Flippy go on the outside? He can. He has more traction. He cuts across the Williams machine as we go into Curva Grande. Percy on the hard tyres are sat the fastest up of the race there. Incredible stuff indeed. We've got a lot of pit action then in this one. My goodness gracious me then. But Sweet there has somehow stayed beyond and lock it up. There's Brabbit is all over the gearbox. Go for a second Grand Prix win. Brabbit is here this season. Not this season, shot. Yes, it is this season for Brabbit then. Of course, and Brabbit is flying out there at the moment. It's really pushing the World Championship leader to the edge of his limit and beyond. My goodness gracious me. Oh, incredible stuff, man. On board it once again is Brabbit there, having a look down into the Ascari chicane, and Nameless is now back onto the back of the Aston Martin. No, he is in the Aston Martin of the Red Bull. Delander's got a 3-second penalty. That's horror for the Ferrari driver then. And Mortal then, I think, is going to be very vulnerable as Brabbit has gone out of the slipstream there. I'm wondering then if that is to cool his car, or is it more likely he does not want to be too close to the racing ball then, and wants to come like a slingshot a bit further back potentially. And now then, as we fly down into someone who's out in the pits. Flippy, is that Flippy in the pits? He is. Flippy and Equaz in the pits. This is the lead then for the race. Brabbit on the outside. He's taken the lead of the Italian Grand Prix and gets past the motor. So Flippy is on the hard tyres. Equals and Vessia have also gone hard tyres to the end of the race then. Sunship Ninja is back on his hard tyres that he started this race on. As I missed that earlier on then. Delando is now up into 6th position. Great drive from the Ferrari driver of Delando. Incredible stuff. Can he keep the pace up? My goodness me. Sweet, I don't think his best result in gold is, I'm sure it's a podium. Hang on, let me get my old stat book up, shall we? Sweet then, his best result in gold is 7th position, with only 9 points on his career in 15 starts. But today he is flying in that Williams car. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there. As Brabbit leads the way, then 2nd position is Immortal, with 3rd is Sweet at the moment. As Morris is very disgruntled, isn't he, about this season, sadly. And of course, unfortunately, it's so difficult, isn't it? It was Serious Much says that it's a rubbish game, isn't it? Don't worry, Morris. Don't worry, James. I'll get this destroyed by my teammates every week in the event league. However, that's a different kind of destroyed. As Mush keeps taking me out. Just watching a Sweet. By the way, that's true. Not the fact that Mushrooms are destroying me. I think he's on like 90 odd points to my 20. Even though, let's be honest about it, it can't be me. I'm not the reason that Red Bull is bottom of the constructors as the course of the event league. And now here comes Equals. He's past 1. Is he going to pass 2 down the back straight? He has, you know. He's up into 10th. And then here comes Cam. He wants to follow the Red Bull through. Dives up the inside. Forces Legends off the circuit. And that's a spin there for Legends. And oh, that's similar, isn't it, to similar to Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021. Now letting his teammate through there. Sam Swift Ninja is going to be on very old hard tyres and going to the end of the race. Sam Swift Ninja then, who has been befuddled by a host of issues there. A host of issues then in the race tonight. Then unfortunately for Sam Swift Ninja, hard tyres now, used hard tyres to get to the end of the race there, but he's not going to be quick, unfortunately. On board with Sweet. What a drive from Sweet. And he's my driver of the day so far. And if I was in charge of driver of the day, Sweet would certainly be my candidate for driver of the day. Then coming across the line once again and on board with Sweet. And as he is gaining, Immortal is also gaining on Brabant as well. This is going to be a tense affair, locking up the inside tyre once again for the Racing Bull. Now into the pits comes Savassa and Delando in the pits. Medium tyres for Delando. This is a great performance from the Ferrari driver, and hopefully he can get some points there. Got everything crossed for Delando tonight to get some points there. Nameless in 4th position with Percy in 5th, 10 seconds back. Morris, Menace in 6th position. Sorry, I'm reading the comments as well. 6th position is Menace with Flippy in 7th. Equals is 8th. Cam is in 9th position. 10th is Sam Swift Ninja with Mark in 11th, 12th position, Savasta with Legends on the inside of Curva Grande in 13th position there, and there he goes, he cuts across the kick Sauber. It's a kick Sauber going to come back out into the Dalla Roger chicane then. Unfortunately not then, he hasn't got the tools for the job, sadly. Unfortunately, Delando's got fresh medium tyres now to the end of the race, and Delando is going to be a major factor in the final stage of this race as coming into the Parabolica, Brabant, followed by Immortal, followed by Sweet then. Nameless is only 2 seconds back then. The penalty situation looks like this: 3 seconds for Nameless, 3 seconds for Menace and for Flippy, 3 seconds for Cam, and we've also got 6 seconds for Marky, 3 seconds for Legend, 6 seconds for Vesher, 6 seconds for Delano. That could be Delano's undoing, unfortunately, as coming out of the Parabolica on board with Cam once again. And look at the steering input there out of the Parabolica. Impressive stuff for Cam. But goodness gracious me, that's surely going to not help his tyres up, but he's going to be on these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix now. I am sure of it then. Not sure how sure I am, but I'm going to be sure at this stage. Here's Savasta getting past Marky. Well, he's already past Marky as we have already joined him. And through goes Vessier, going to have a sniff. Oh, not quite bad into turn 1 there as Legend slams the door shut on the Mercedes toes there. But now Vessier's going to have a good run out into the Curva Grande. But Legend there has got the position of they're both harvesting there. You can tell because the rain lights are flashing there. Vessier repeating Vettel's overtake on Alonso in 2011, is he? Not quite, so not two and up alongside and on the outside there. And Legends have nowhere to go, and now he's lost out of position to Delando as well. As Vessier is up to 13th, Delando over to 14th, Legends down to 15th. There's a bit of a difficult race there for Legends, sadly. Sadly for the kick Sauber driver. Brabant still leads then as the laps are counted down, and here Sweet, what a drive from Sweet then. As I mentioned, Sweet's best performance in gold up until tonight was 7th position. Vesh's got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, unfortunately. Sweet there is just gaining. I'm wondering if there's going to be a lot of tactics to play now in this one in terms of what are they going to be doing about battery. I wonder if they're going to be saving up battery then for one final slog then with 5 laps to go in this Italian Grand Prix. Goodness gracious me, I may even have enough time to have a bath rather than a shower tonight. Fantastic, goodness me, you're spoiling me here tonight. I love it. Savasta then catching Sam Swift Ninja. Sam Swift Ninja is on course not to get any points, but keep it on the penalty situation. Delando up in 13th. A strong performance from Delando, but he does have 6 seconds of penalty. That could cost him points there. But let's see how he goes. And here comes Savasta then, and Sam Swift Ninja as well. Sam Swift Ninja will be hoping for more penalties in front of him, but he's almost out of that 3-second window of Cam. So he's going to elevate himself up many penalties and more. And there's more locking up at the inside tire of the world champion Sam Swift Ninja. It's a horror show. It's technical drama today from the triple world champion. Kick Sauber have let him down, and also I think the interwebs has let Sam Swift Ninja down in a crucial race in its quest for the world championship and to become a 4-time world champion and reclaim his crown. Whilst Malta's going to extend his championship lead by another 18 points in this one. Savasta's through and up into 10th position there, and Sam Swift Ninja can't do anything about it. He is powerless, the world champion is, and this is heartbreaking for Sam Swift Ninja. technical gremlins in qualifying, where he unfortunately wasn't able to finish his final lap in qualifying. I think was 6th or 5th, wasn't he? And then unfortunately in the race that he wasn't able to take part in the start, and was dropped down into 7th position, and then he lost out again under the safety car, and Savasta is going to have to yield that position because he's got no battery left, and he's back up into 10th position this time, Swift Ninja. And of course he has got himself back into the points then, but he will be hoping that tyres in front of him falls off. But he's done 11 laps on these hard tyres, and he's out of position as the world champion, Sound Swift Ninja. And it is a horror show for Kick Sauber with just 6 races to go after this one, or 5 races to go after this. We're on round 15 next week in Azerbaijan. And I think the Sound Swift Ninja will be hoping for some kind of crazy race, because at the moment there, I think any standard races now for Sound Swift Ninja is not going to be enough. Even I'll have to get my calculator out, but he needs a mortal, I think, to have a bad weekend then, like Piastri did in Azerbaijan today. That's what Sound Swift Ninja needs, I think, for a mortal to happen, because I think it's mission critical now for the World Championship. Back at the front, Brabham is driving superbly well, and Brabham is going for his 2nd Grand Prix win of his career, but he has got the World Championship leader behind him. He has got Sweet Who's in impeccable form, but so is Brabham as well. And maybe if he can get more consistency like this for next season, I think the Brabham is going to be one of the heirs to the throne, maybe, for Immortal then. So this could be a future tasting of what's to come then for ALR in the future. Marquis and Delando have swapped positions there. There they are, as Delando is through in 12th position. Marquis is trying to use the slipstream of that Ferrari, but I think the job is done there for Delando. It is done, and up into 12th position he goes. Fantastic stuff there. Back at the front, it's a 3-car fight then, with on 24 out of 27 here. Driver of the day, Brabham, Percy, Menace, and Nameless then for driver of the day. Then get those votes in, ladies and gents. Of course, it means a lot to the drivers. Incredible stuff indeed. Mediums toast and 10 laps, says Serious Mushroom there. Getting 2024 vibes from this race, says Luke. Absolutely, this is going to be a cracking one till the final stages of this one. Brabham leads, Mortal 2nd, Sweet is in the battle for 3rd position. Oh no, and that's, I think, that's it. I think that's all she wrote for Sound Swift Ninja. Oh, it is frustrating, isn't it? We've seen drivers come and go in silver multiple lobbies this season, for Mayran especially, which potentially could cost him the Drivers' Championship there. For Mayran, Chaz has got a 3-second penalty. It is so frustrating. Sound Swift Ninja has been in and out of this lobby all tonight then, and goodness me, I really wish that... I wish that the lobbies wasn't so unstable, and I think that is one of the reasons why Sound Swift Ninja's AI also pits as well, just to add insult to injury there, as Delando's back down to 12th position there. Marquis is back through to 10th, back through to 11th, I say. Here's the battle for 10th then, which is Cam, very close to the back of Savasta as well. Then a lot of good drives out there tonight. Immortal's got a lot of battery, as that's sweet then. So is Brabham as well, you know then. So we've got the battery up right now. Immortal battery saving, I bet you then. Can we skip Baku QF next week then? Ethernet cable, £3 a meter, says Serious Mushroom. Is it though? Is it just the cable, or is it like because not being funny then, these games have been going on for quite a long period of time now. You'd have thought that, especially in the year 2025, you'd have thought that the lobbies would be stable. So here comes Immortal. I'm blaming the lobby. It may not be the lobby. There's Immortal on the outside. Brabham on the inside. There is Immortal. And looking Sweet there. He's going for it as well. Sweet could have a major say in the outcome of this Grand Prix tonight. That great driver then on lap 26 out of 27 here. Wow, incredible stuff indeed then. Is just on board now. with Immortal then as we go into the Dali Rogers Kane and Soundswift Ninja. To be honest, if I was Soundswift Ninja, I probably would have called it a day young ago. Soundswift Ninja's only had one DNF in his 64 Grand Prix start set. You have to be in the lobby by the end of the race to get a DNF, basically, to get a finish, which sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? Really, because of course you could be in AI mode for most of the session, then and then just come in at the end and then get a finish, then can't you? I suppose. However, there are of course there are stewards, and sadly, like for example, there was a driver in Zandvoort last week. Then there was an AI for most of the race, and of course he didn't get a DNF as well. You can see my stats are important to me, as we got a Mortal here then, who is very much on board with Immortal now. He's trying to catch and pass Brabbit here. No, you measure how much you need comes with connection. Cat 8. On the final turn then for Brabbit then, as we've got Immortal and Sweet there also fighting for position there, but as Brabbit done enough, and he seems to have done enough, and look at the battery life he has got there for Brabbit. Oh, in lap 27 out of 27 here in this incredible Italian Grand Prix. Fantastic 17 then, coming out Kerber Grande then for the 27th and final time then, as Soundswift Ninja still not in the lobby sadly there. Legends and Chaz are going for the fastest lap race, fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well. Can Persic, he doesn't need to catch and pass Nameless. This is Nameless's best performance tonight. However, he does have penalties, and there are the penalties, but only 3 seconds of penalty for Nameless, which means he'll drop him down into 5th, which still is his best result of his career, because up until tonight, his best result was 8th in a gold race, and not in his all-time career, of course, as Nameless, a multiple Grand Prix winner in silver. But Nameless stays driven superbly well. A front row start. I wonder if he probably wanted a podium there, as Percy is through and passes Nameless up into 5th place there. Percy up into 4th, and here's Brabbit then as he flies towards us now. Pesky Brabbit then, of course, driving the day boat is still up then, and at the moment it's Bro with 83% of the boat, and I've got to say that's a lot of votes as well. Out of the final turn then for the 27th and final time, and Brabbit is going to win his 2nd win of his career. He's going to win the Italian Grand Prix. What a performance for Brabbit! What a magnificent performance indeed there. His 2nd win of his season and of his career as well in Italy, with a Mortal 2nd and Sweet, who of course super subbing tonight in the Williams, gets 3rd position there, and of course which would be fantastic news for the Williams team there. Flippy finishes 1,500 of a second away from Menace. Great job from Menace to get his way back into the top 10. And again, both Aston Martin scoring one. Again, Cam is on a 3-race scoring streak at the moment. And Cam then, after a horror show start to the season, really starting to get into some fine results and performance. I can't remember what I was going to say, to be honest, but never mind. Even I'm a fun wouldn't catch him tonight, says Serious Man. Says Serious Motion. Absolutely. What's the other one? Yosemite Sam, wasn't it? Legends gets that fastest lap there. Really well done indeed then for Legends. And trying recovering quite nice indeed then. Soundswift Ninja. What a horror show for Soundswift Ninja tonight then. Oh dear, but there is Brabbit, and he punches the air with delight. Then his 2nd Grand Prix win of his career here in Italy, and he is going to be overjoyed with this result. Then, not only that, that was a pretty phenomenal result as well for Brabbit. And he took the fight to Immortal, who's been the standard bearer of this year's championship. Fantastic stuff indeed. Race winner, Brabbit, fastest lap was Legends there. Driver of the day, Legends, and most overtaking Legends as well. Cleanest driver so fast, fantastic. But here's the final classification. Brabbit win 2nd win of the season there. Immortal on pole position, finished 2nd today, but has extended his lead by 18 points in the championship. Sweet, his best result of his career in 3rd. 4th position, Percy's Day with 5th position, Nameless, his best result of his gold career. Menace in 6th with Flippy in 7th. Equals, great drive in 8th there with 9th Savasta, and 10th Cam keeps his point scoring streak up. Mark in 11th position with Delando, his best result of his season so far in 12th. Vesta in 13th. Legends in 14th with fast lap. Soundswift Ninja, technical dramas all the way through this race, sadly. Chazza in 16th. Other retirements was boxed out. Morris and Camera Racer out to this one there. Of course, Morris, we heard, very unhappy with the way things are going at the moment there. Hopefully, he can turn it around before the end of the season there for Morris, but very disappointed indeed. Then it's now we've got Brabbit in the comms box then. And Brabbit, this is your 2nd Grand Prix win of your career and of the season as well then. And I got to say, I think that's probably probably your best win out of the two so far.
Wow. First of all, thank you very much for the kind words. It was really an interesting race. First of all, I want to congratulate my mate Sweet MGP. I think it's must be one of his best results in ALR history. And also I see Nameless in P5. I'm really happy about that. And yeah, today was a good race. Like I was enjoying it really much. The safety car decided the strategy, and in the end, everything was working out. So I'm really happy with the second win in ALA Gold.
Could you elaborate on the safety car changing the strategy? What was the strategy you was going to go for before that safety car came out?
I was planning a normal one stop, like pitting in lap 10, 11, or 12, depending on the situation, what the others are doing. And yeah, I am not sure. I think the safety car came in lap 5 or 6, something like that. And yeah, it was. I knew it was really hard to make the hard tire last till the end, but I guess like it wasn't impossible. So I was trying it, and in the end, we it was so close. Like my rear left tire was so wet on the screen, like over 80% of tire wear. But I'm lucky that I didn't get a puncture, and I'm lucky to defend from Immortal. Like I think he was also managing a lot, and I'm really happy with the pace, with the result, and with another win. It's really a pleasure to win in Ayla Gold.
We did have a bit of a sneak preview to see what your Urus deployment was compared to Immortal and Sweet as well, and we was all very pleasantly surprised as you had more battery actually compared to Immortal and Sweet at the time. Then, and how difficult is it to manage the battery around here? Because with so little braking zones around here, I thought it'd be almost impossible. But how did you manage that?
Um, in general, you had to manage all the race long, like tires, you had to manage, you had to manage temperatures, you had to manage the ERS. So I guess it's my strength in the race. Like I always do better in the race than in qualify. The qualifying was a little bit unfortunate. I invalid 17.9. It would be enough for P2, but it is what it is. And the race was quite good. I'm really happy with the result. Another win, and I'm really trying to keep the rhythm and to take the momentum to the next races.
And you certainly are doing that. It's been really impressive stuff indeed. That and the next race is in Baku in Azerbaijan. Of course, we see the preview of how crazy that could be in qualifying yesterday in the real world of F1. Are you expecting a crazy race in Baku, and are you going to be aiming for win number three?
I will try, of course, Sean. I will try, but Baku is one of my worst tracks, so I guess I try to finish in the points at that race, and Baku can be a lot of carnage in terms of safety cars and strategy and battles and maybe weather. I don't know. The weather can also play a game here, and we will have to wait and see. It's not my best track. It's more like a bad track for me, but I will try to prepare and I try to do my best.
I hope you don't do your best too much. I should be up here too often not. Well done, Brabbit. Great drive to second win of your career.
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. And Sweet, your best result today was third position. Up until then, you only think the highest you finished was seventh there, but goodness gracious me, you've gone from seventh to third today and potentially had an outside chance of a Grand Prix win there. Really, is it just the circuit that you enjoy then, or is this just the form you're on this game?
I think it's just a bit of form that I'm on this game, to be fair. But it was fun to race in gold. You know, I weren't expecting that, to be honest. I just thought we'd be battling in the middle of the pack. So it was nice to actually have a fight, to be honest. But I think they just had too much battery. They just kept pulling away the top two, so I just couldn't keep up in the end. It get tight in the middle sector, and then they were away. But still good fun.
Did you have a you was like, oh, I'm a reserve here, I can just take a wild lunge at one of them because Immortal would jump out the way knowing he's fighting for the championship, or Brabbit is also fighting for constructors points and points of his own then. Was you thinking, oh, maybe I can have a wild lunge and do a bit of harvesting just to keep up and then have a lunge down to turn one, or is that not what you're thinking today?
Nah, not really. If there was a mistake, then from either of them, I would have tried to go for it, but not not too much. At the end of the day, I'm not in this division, so I won't want to ruin somebody's race. But if there was a half a chance, then maybe I'd have gone for it. So it's a bit of good practice for tomorrow, I suppose.
What has changed then between because last time you was in gold, then it was you didn't have this kind of pace, and you was also quite unlucky as well, if I remember rightly. But what has changed? Is it the game? Is it yourself? If you found a new way of driving, or is it just, or you've just elevated yourself? Have just elevated yourself in terms of skill and performance.
I think it's the game because I played with no assists, so I think it was at 22 or something like that. weren't good for me. I think it was a bit horrendous with the traction on that. And I don't know, I just suppose a bit of both really. Good results, and then the confidence comes. And this game's just suited me a bit better. So that's really it. Quite simple, really.
And of course, tomorrow you are racing in silver. Then I don't want to go too much into silver tomorrow, but as you mentioned, it's good practice for tomorrow. Is this race giving you any ideas for strategy calls and things like that for tomorrow? We know you can't anticipate safety cars and things like that, but you now have a good idea about tyre wear and things like that. Then, so do you feel a bit more comfortable going into the race tomorrow, or was you always thinking that tomorrow it was locked on as a one-stop strategy?
Uh, I mean, I've only tried the one stop to be honest. I haven't tried the two stop, and my tyres were pretty good to be honest towards the end. I was always going to pit when the safety car come out, maybe a few laps later. So, but yeah, that was always a strategy I was going to go with, just a one stop. I was set on that. I weren't going to be nothing else. Um, really.
Congratulations today, sweet, brilliant job indeed to your first
Yeah.
podium, fantastic, and to Brabham getting his second Grand Prix win of his career in gold, magnificent stuff indeed. Immortals also extended his lead in the Drivers' Championship by a further 18 points. Then Brabham getting driver of the day as well. Oh, it's been a great day all round, hasn't it? Fantastic. I'm going to bed now. It's been a brilliant race, then fantastic stuff, Ben. Long may it continue tomorrow night as well. These short races are fantastic. Who needs a sprint race? See you tomorrow night. Goodbye.